Joey, we'll start with you.
Cool. Joey Lynch for ESPN. A question for you, Tony. Good to see you again. I guess you've announced your squad last week, but a lot's happened since. You've had to deal with players dropping out, players arriving in fits and spurts. Could you just walk us through what this last week's introduction to life as an international coach has been like for you?
Yeah, I think it's been everything that I was told to expect. Not to expect the squad will remain the same because injuries do occur. So we were pretty calm about that, and injuries are always unfortunate for a player, for any individual, obviously for the squad, but it gives another player an opportunity.
I guess looking at your first game tomorrow night, trying to figure out a starting 11, just what sort of weighting are you giving the various factors between how the players have arrived, what sort of form they're in, how much time you've had with them since they've arrived? How are you juggling all these different factors?
Look, we have to take everything into consideration, and we are doing that. But we're pretty calm about the process. We've got a very good group of players here, and I'm very at ease with the decisions that have to be made.
John, come to you, just to Craig, if that's okay, and then we'll...
John Baldock from SBS. Craig, obviously there's a lot of excitement amongst the fans and even media as well about this new era for Australian football. What's the mood like in the camp right now?
Yeah, look, obviously we're excited to get the chance to work with the new coaches as well. But at the same time, there's just so much focus on the job at hand. We know that we've had a poor 2 first games. But it's let's say a clean slate, 8 games to go, and we still want to qualify directly. So our focus is solely on learning the new way of playing, and obviously trying to lift the standards again back to where we know we can be.
And Tony, one for you as well. You've experienced the highs as a player and obviously as a coach in club football in Asia. How hard will it be to keep a lid on your emotions tomorrow night leaving the country for the first time?
That's probably hard to answer, how I'll feel beforehand. I think as every player should feel, regardless of whether it's your first game or some cases 50th, 60th, 70th game. I think excitement before the game, nerves of excitement, pride, but when that all settles, then there's a job to do, and I have to make my contribution from the sideline, and the players will be ready to make theirs on the pitch.
Who's next? You want to raise their hand? Vince? Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's go to Tony.
Tony, Vince Regari, Sydney Morning Herald. Tony, you spoke about a more dynamic style of play in your unveiling presser, moving the ball quicker and all that sort of stuff, and Craig's just mentioned a new style of play. How have you been able to implement that with such a short period of time that you've had access to the players, and in particular, some of them have arrived today?
Yeah, true. We got Paul Izzo arrived today. We got a lot of late arrivals last night. There's some things that are out of our control, but I don't want to use that as an excuse. We feel we have enough time to show the players how we'd like to play, and I'm sure the players have seen it, they're comfortable with it, and they'll show some good signs of that tomorrow night.
And just a question around the squad selection. Would have been a good one to ask you the other day in Adelaide, but we didn't have the chance. Yep. There's been a lot of questions, I guess, around Alex Robertson. A lot of people thought he might be in the mix. Can you just clarify, is he on the radar, what the situation is with him?
Every Australian that's available is on the radar, every single one, footballer that is. My understanding is he's not eligible, so that's why he's not under consideration for this camp.
Steve?
Steve Larkin, AAP. Tony, Jackson Irvine said today that you sort of demanded, increased intensity without going into, obviously, trade secrets. What has been the main theme that you've given to your players this week?
The first part is the football we want to play. That's a priority, and just for all the players to realise and staff that we're representing Australia, and that needs to be seen when we're out there. That we need to show that we're a level above any club level game, and when you represent your country, That should be a non-negotiable for everyone. And then the football to match what we want to do. So if we can match those two together, we've got a very good chance of winning the game tomorrow, which is what we aim to do.
Just a quick one for you. Have you noticed any change in the vibe, or I guess since the new bosses come in? Or?
Yeah, of course. I think as there is when there's any kind of change in coaching staff, there's, like I said the other day, that it's a fresh start for everyone in the squad, no matter what age you are, and nobody's spot is safe. And I think especially in international football, every camp could potentially be your last if you're not performing. So, there's definitely I think a lift in the energy in training and the focus. But at the same time, we have to make sure that we find the balance in not being too erratic in the way that we perform as well. There needs to be that high energy, but also that good level of calmness when it comes to the game.
Back.
Dan Litchins, ABC News. Craig, one for you, mate. It's been a long time since the Socceroos have played in Adelaide. Obviously, this is the first home game of this round of qualifying as well. How much are you expecting to lift from the crowd?
Yeah, of course. I think anytime we get the chance to play in Australia and have our home fans, it's a privilege for us, and especially for a lot of us boys. I think there's 7 in the squad that are from South Australia. I think it's all of our first times in playing for the national team in front of our home state. But yeah, we're really excited. But again, at the same time, we can't be too caught up in the aura of being able to play in Adelaide. It's another game for Australia, and we have to perform at our absolute best and focus the job at hand.
And on that, do you think this is a must-win game going forward?
I think every game we go into as a must-win. We go in with that mentality that we want to win every game, and obviously from the first 2 results, there's I guess more pressure on us to perform and to get those results, but we have to take it one game at a time, look at the way that we want to play and execute the game plan to the best of our abilities, and just show that desire on the pitch to get the win.
Michael.
Michael Lynch, freelance. Tony, your team's expected to have a lot of the ball tomorrow. China have got very poor defensive record. Craig mentioned calmness. Is that a message that you're hammering home to your players if they don't get the early breakthrough, that patience will be the key here?
I think it's a mix. When Craig says the patience, that's very clear that we don't force the action, but we also need to play with a tempo that forces them to be uncomfortable while they're defending. And the more we can do that, I'm sure we'll give ourselves really good opportunities to score.
Lucas?
Tony, Lucas Rinaldo from Channel 10. You touched on the players coming late. Of the ones that did arrive today and last night, are you expecting to have all of those available?
Yes, at the moment, yes. So going into this session that's coming up, everyone's fit and available. That's here.
What have you made as well of China? Obviously a limited time to be with the group, but maybe a little bit more time to research them in the past couple of weeks. What have you made of them?
Well, they haven't obviously had the results they want. They've had a poor start, so you have to expect a real determination and desperation from the opponent. Desperate to get a result any way they can, and we have to match that desire. And if we do that, we're at home. We will be confident tomorrow night, but I'm sure that we can win the game. Just we have to get that balance right between being calm with and without the ball, and also having that dynamic edge when we get our opportunities to be creative in that front third.
Tony, Paul Williams from the Asian game. Club football is very different to international football, but you had the experience of winning the Asian Champions League with the Wanderers 10 years ago. How much does that experience, the long international travel, the short turnaround between matches, different conditions, different refereeing, how much does that experience help you coming into this role?
Yeah, it helps. I think every experience you have in life helps you as you go along, whether that's away from football or in football. And I think you put that together to be able to handle the situation at hand. I'm the Socceroos head coach. It's a great honour and privilege, and the limited preparation, of course, everyone talks about that, but that is international football for the players and the staff. So we just look at it as finding solutions to the problems that may occur, do it in a real positive manner, do it with a lot of belief that we have, and then we execute tomorrow night. And tomorrow night is a chance at home to win the game, beat China and get 3 points, and that's our focus.
Tony, have you seen what you wanted from the players in the short time you've had them this week, in terms of the messages you're giving them, the new standards you're setting, and I guess the look you're seeing in their eyes when you talk to them?
Yeah, of course, it's still very early days, and I'm sure, as I alluded to earlier, that we will definitely see signs of what we want tomorrow night. I'm sure of that. We'll see signs of that tomorrow night, and then moving forward, I'm sure we'll get better. And that's a goal. Start tomorrow well, keep improving as we go along.
Joey?
Tony, as you just mentioned, this is going to be a process. Rome wasn't built in the day. How long do you anticipate, I guess, sort of you needing to bed down your system before you get really happy with what you're seeing and you're really satisfied that you've bedded it in? How long do you reckon that process will take?
Tomorrow? I'll be happy tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be happy tomorrow. Sorry.
Hi, Tony here. This is Tingting from China Media Group. We understand that there are some changes about the Team Australia squad. Actually, it is the same with Team China as well. I don't know whether you've got any information about this. I mean, have you done any research about Team China, their changes about the squad and their ways to play?
We've seen some changes. We've seen that they've had some injuries and brought in some new players. But that's expected with every squad. Every country will have those same issues that we are facing, and we've brought in some new faces due to injury, but we've also brought in new faces due to just giving players an opportunity that we feel deserve to be in this environment and to see how they cope with what we are aiming to do tomorrow.
Last one, Christian.
Christian Marchetti from Front Page Football. Tony, a couple of questions for you. First one, just on yourself coaching in an international environment. How have you found the past week adapting to that as opposed to club football?
Yeah, it's been really good. I think, I had a week in the offices in Sydney, getting to know everyone, bringing in new coaches, new staff. We got here, started preparing for the match. The players came in. So it's been a process day by day. Something new has happened. But I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every part of it, and this is the final piece of the puzzle tonight, to train here. And then tomorrow we do what we're all here for, and I feel very calm and excited about the challenge, and really confident about tomorrow night.
Just this idea of the team being more dynamic, is that something you're looking to change tactically to make more dynamic, or is it more of maybe a mindset thing with the players?
No, it's more than mindset. The players will take care of the mindset. That won't be an issue, but you'll have to see tomorrow and judge what you think of the football.
All right, we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.